the US tried to stop Huawei, China's largest and most successful tech company, Huawei not only survived, but responded with the fastest growth in 4 years. And now, with China's launch of DeepSeek R1, the entire game has changed. This better performing, open source AI model has eliminated the last illusion that tariffs on China could ever work. Show me one industry where tariffs have achieved their intended goal of containing China. You can't. And yet, crazily enough, we're still seeing the same playbook. President Trump called tariffs, quote, the most beautiful words in the dictionary, signaling we're going straight back to his favorite tool from his first administration. But this time is different. China's trade surplus with the world has reached nearly $1 trillion, with $280 billion of that coming from the United States alone. This has put China in a position that many analysts believe makes it better prepared than ever for a trade war with the US. But to prove exactly how tariffs have spurred Chinese innovation and made the country stronger, I want you to listen to this clip from David Sachs, a close Trump ally and leading voice in America's AI industry.
This is where DeepSeek's innovation is they have managed to get more efficiency out of chips. They're squeezing more juice out of the chips, and they kind of have to because of the export controls, which limited advanced chips going to China. They've had to learn how to be more efficient. So necessity has been the mother of invention for them.
Did you hear those last few words? Necessity's been the mother of invention for them. And this is the primary reason that Trump's tariffs and sanctions against China have never worked. Tariffs simply force China to work harder and smarter and accomplish more with less. For many years, China was the United States' #1 customer of semiconductors. In fact, in 2023, China imported a total of $349 billion worth of microchips, which was even higher than the $337 billion China spent on importing crude oil that year. But instead of allowing American companies like Intel to profit from robust trade with China, the US government destroyed this source of revenue, which resulted in Intel becoming the worst performing stock in the S&P 500 last year, as Intel's shares dropped 60% as the semiconductor pioneer struggled to adapt to a shifting landscape. Meanwhile, Trump's cabinet includes an unprecedented 13 billionaires, making it the wealthiest administration in history. Led by former hedge fund manager and now Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, this wealthy team believes that they can cut taxes as much as possible and have tariffs make up the lost revenue. Just listen to these comments to see how far from reality Trump and his team are talking about tariffs.
As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
It actually doesn't make sense at all, because that's not how tariffs work. Tariffs are simply taxes. Taxing trade will mean less trade and higher prices for everyone, most especially American consumers.